This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Diane Roberts. When Russian forces launched a military campaign against infrastructure in Ukraine, they opened a second front carrying the war along power lines to schools, offices, and churches. AP correspondent Charles De Ledesma reports.
The government in Kyiv and the Western countries that have backed it with billions in military aid are now scrambling along with the United Nations and aid groups to get blankets, insulation, generators, medical aid, cash and more basics into the invaded country as winter looms. While the response has been swift, the needs are changing fast and swelling. Much has been made of the need for generators whose buzzing motors create stopgap electricity for cell phone towers, restaurants and above all hospitals, the highest priority for the Ukrainian government. I'm Charles De Ledesma.
Russia was looking to stall the fighting in Ukraine over the winter in order to build up its forces for a renewed assault next year, NATO Chief Jens Stoltenberg said Wednesday. Ukrainian forces have been pushing a counter-offensive in which they have made significant gains in the east and south, including Kyiv's retaking of the city of Kherson. Stoltenberg said NATO members were continuing their unprecedented supply of arms and support to Ukraine. The U.S. Secretaries of State and Defense met with their Australian counterparts in Washington, D.C. Tuesday. Speaking after a meeting with Australian diplomatic and defense leaders, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said he was asked about Ukrainian offensive capabilities against Russia.
Is the U.S. working to prevent Ukraine from developing its own long-range strike capability? The short answer is no. We're absolutely not doing that.
South Africa on Wednesday released on parole Janice Wallace, a far-right Polish immigrant who in 1993 shot dead anti-apartheid hero Chris Hani. The move came after a postponement due to an attack inside prison. The parole comes with strict conditions, according to a statement released by the government. Nigeria's central bank has imposed restrictions on weekly cash withdrawals to limit the use of cash in a bid to curb counterfeiting and discourage ransom payments to kidnappers. The central bank said that withdrawals from cash machines were also included in the new measure, which takes effect on January 9th. Donald Trump's real estate company has been convicted of tax fraud for a scheme by top executives to avoid paying personal income taxes on perks such as apartments and luxury cars. VOA's Marissa Melton has the story.
The guilty verdict Tuesday came on the second day of deliberations in the only criminal trial to arise from the Manhattan District Attorney's 3-year investigation of the former president and his businesses. Longtime Trump Organization finance chief Alan Weisselberg previously pleaded guilty to hatching the 15-year scheme. He testified at the trial in exchange for a promised 5-month jail sentence. As punishment, the Trump Organization could be fined up to $1.6 million. The company pleaded not guilty. Trump himself was not charged in the case. Marissa Melton, VOA News.
A federal judge has dismissed a U.S. lawsuit against Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in the killing of U.S.-based journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Khashoggi was a columnist for The Washington Post who had written critically of Prince Mohammed. China rolled back rules on isolating people with COVID-19 and dropped virus test requirements for some public places Wednesday in a dramatic change to a strategy that combines millions of people to their homes and sparked protests. VOA's Tommy McNeil has more.
China has enforced some of the world's strictest curbs, disrupting global manufacturing and trade and the lives of ordinary Chinese, while many nations switch to trying to live with the virus. The latest announcement from the National Health Commission is the second easing of rules following a November 11th change that fueled hopes that the Communist Party would scrap its zero-COVID strategy. Experts warn, however, that because millions of elderly people still need to be vaccinated, it will be mid-2023 or later before restrictions can be lifted completely. China's low infection rates also mean few people have developed natural immunity, a factor that might set back reopening plans if cases surge and authorities feel compelled to reimpose restrictions.
This is VOA News.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.